At 2:07 that afternoon, Maya was told her position had been eliminated, just 7 minutes before her work laptop locked her out, and 43 minutes after that. She stepped into her kitchen carrying a cardboard box and discovered how quickly one missing paycheck could change a person's place in her own home. Kendra was sitting at the island, scrolling through her phone with one foot tucked beneath her. She looked up when the door closed. "Why are you home?" Maya set her purse beside the box. Inside it were a framed photograph of her and Daniel, a ceramic mug that said "Make it make sense," and the small pothose plant she had kept beside her monitor for 6 years. "The merger," Maya said. "They eliminated 12 positions." Kendra's eyes dropped to the box, then moved toward the hallway leading to the guest room she and Jason had occupied for the past 5 months. "Does Daniel know?" "Not yet." Kendra hesitated.
Are Jason and I still okay here? Nothing about your agreement changed in the last 5 minutes. I'm just saying, 4 adults can't live on one paycheck forever. You're right, but I lost my job today, Kendra.
The garage door began to rise. A moment later, Daniel entered through the mudroom carrying a roll of blueprints beneath one arm. He stopped when he saw Maya's cardboard box. His face changed before he said a word. Kendra slid off the stool. "I was about to start dinner." Daniel barely looked at her. He set the blueprints down and crossed the kitchen. "Tell me what happened." Maya had repeated the company's explanation all the way home. Consolidation, duplicated roles, operational efficiency. The words had sounded clean inside the conference room. Under Daniel's worried gaze, they became what they were. "They cut my department in half." Daniel took the box out of her hands and set it on the table. Then he pulled her against him. Maya had not cried in the conference room. She had not cried while security watched 12 people carry their belongings through the lobby. Parking lot when her closest coworker sat behind the steering wheel and stared straight ahead. But when Daniel said, "You don't have to be strong in this kitchen," the tears came. Kendra quietly left the room. Daniel held Maya until her breathing settled. He did not ask about severance, unemployment benefits, or how quickly she could find something else. He asked whether anyone had embarrassed her, whether she had been allowed to say goodbye to her team, whether she wanted him to call out the following morning. "No," Maya said, wiping beneath her eyes. "I need one normal thing to happen tomorrow." "All right. We'll need to adjust." "We will. I mean everybody." Daniel understood whom she meant. He glanced toward the hallway. "Jason and Kendra have 32 days left. They're scared. So are you. That doesn't mean we throw them out early." Daniel studied his wife's face. "Maya, they have 2 incomes between them. 2 inconsistent incomes. Jason's hours are only just coming back. And they were supposed to be saving." "I know. Do you?" The question was gentle, which made it land harder. 5 months earlier, Jason's warehouse had reduced his shifts at the same time the landlord increased the rent on his apartment. He and Kendra had fallen 2 months behind before they admitted how bad things were. Daniel had wanted to help with a deposit somewhere cheaper. He had not wanted them living in the house. Maya had argued for 6 months under one condition. Jason and Kendra would save what they had previously paid in rent. They could use the guest room, contribute toward groceries, and leave by the first Saturday in September. Daniel had finally agreed. Now Maya looked toward the hallway and lowered her voice. "Let's honor what we promised." Daniel nodded once. "We'll honor the agreement. We're not extending it. Fair. And nobody gets to treat you like a visitor in your own house." Maya managed a tired smile. "That sounds fair too." At dinner, Jason arrived 20 minutes late in his warehouse polo, apologizing before he sat down. Kendra had made pasta and garlic bread. She kept glancing from Maya to Daniel, as if waiting for them to announce a verdict. Daniel reached for Maya's hand beneath the table. "Maya's company reorganized today," he said. Her position was eliminated. Jason's fork stopped halfway to his mouth. "Seriously?" "She received severance," Daniel continued. "And she'll start looking when she's ready. We're going to tighten a few things temporarily." Kendra leaned forward. "What things?" "Our things," Daniel said. "Maya's and mine. I only asked because we all live here. You live here temporarily." The word temporarily landed in the center of the table. Jason cleared his throat. "We know. We've got a month." 32 days, Kendra corrected. Maya noticed how quickly she had counted them. "We agreed to 6 months, Maya said. "You still have 6 months. Jason's shoulders relaxed. "Thank you." Kendra smiled, but she watched Maya for the rest of the meal with the alertness of someone studying a weak board in the floor. The following morning, Maya woke at the same time she always did. For a few confused seconds, she reached toward the nightstand for the phone that normally held her work email. Then she remembered she no longer had an account to check. Daniel found her sitting at the edge of the bed. "You don't have to figure out your life before breakfast," he said. "I know. You're wearing interview pants. They're regular pants. They have a crease." Maya looked down and laughed despite herself. Daniel kissed the top of her head. "Take one day. I'm going to update my resume. One resume. Then take a walk." "Yes, supervisor." When Maya entered the kitchen, a printed spreadsheet had been attached to the refrigerator with a magnet shaped like a lemon. Household savings plan was typed across the top. Kendra stood by the coffee maker. "I couldn't sleep," she explained. "I thought this might help." Maya scanned the page. The streaming services she paid for were crossed out. Her gym membership was highlighted in yellow. So was the amount she spent monthly helping her mother with prescription costs. Jason's sports package remained untouched. Kendra's salon appointments were listed beneath the heading Personal Necessities. Maya removed the paper from the refrigerator. "You went through our expenses?" "Only what I've seen." "You've seen what I send my mother?" "It was on the counter last month." "I'm not judging. We all have to make sacrifices." Maya folded the paper once, then again. "Daniel and I will decide what happens with our money." Kendra crossed her arms. "I was trying to help. Then ask what help looks like before giving it." Maya dropped the spreadsheet into the recycling bin. At 9:18, the first job listing arrived from Kendra. Front desk associate, night shift. At 9:24 came another. Weekend warehouse packer. Immediate start. At 9:31, Kendra sent a third link with the message, "No shame in starting over." Maya stared at the words. There was nothing wrong with either job. Honest work did not become insulting because it paid less than she had earned. What bothered her was the speed with which Kendra had decided Maya should grab anything available before Maya had even finished rewriting the first line of her resume. Maya typed, "Thanks. I'm focusing today on roles matching my operations experience." Kendra answered immediately. "Sometimes pride keeps people unemployed." Maya started another reply, erased it, then carried her laptop to the home office and closed the door. For several hours she worked. She updated her resume, emailed former colleagues, and applied for 2 positions she would have ignored a week earlier, but could genuinely imagine accepting. At noon, she took the walk Daniel had requested. When she returned, Jason was standing in the home office beside a folding table. His monitor was on her desk. 2 storage bins sat beneath the window. Maya's chair had been pushed into the hallway. "What is this?" Jason turned, startled. "Kendra said Daniel told her I could set up in here." "For what?" "My certification course. If I finish it, I can move to the logistics team when they post openings." "That sounds useful. When is the course?" "Thursday night." Maya looked at the boxes. "Why did you move your things in on Tuesday?" Jason rubbed the back of his neck. "Kendra said you weren't using the room for work anymore." Maya walked to her chair and rolled it back across the threshold. "I am using it to find work. You may use the desk Thursday evening. The rest of this leaves now." Jason glanced toward the hallway. "I don't want this to become a whole thing." "Then don't move into rooms people have not given you." Kendra appeared behind him. "He needs quiet." "So do I." "He's trying to improve our situation." "So am I." Kendra gave a small laugh. "Sending applications is not exactly the same as having somewhere to be." Maya met her eyes. "Temporary unemployment did not cancel my authority inside my home." For a moment, no one moved. Then Jason unplugged the monitor. "We'll move it," he said. That evening, Daniel learned what happened before Maya mentioned it. The folding table had scraped paint from the hallway, and Jason was attempting to cover the mark with a framed photograph. Daniel stared at the frame, then at his brother. "Why is there a picture of a lighthouse 3 feet from the floor?" Jason closed his eyes. "Kendra thought I could use the office." "Did Maya say you could?" "For the class." "Then use it for the class." Kendra stepped out of the guest room. Why does every conversation turn into a trial? Daniel's expression remained calm. Because every request turns into a decision you claim somebody else already made. Kendra looked at Maya. "You told him." "The paint told him," Maya replied. Jason made the mistake of laughing. Kendra glared at him, and even Daniel had to turn his face away. The humor disappeared the following Friday at the grocery store. Maya had driven because Kendra's car was being repaired. At checkout, Kendra began separating items on the conveyor belt. She moved Maya's coffee, yogurt, and sparkling water behind the plastic divider. "These are yours," Kendra said. The cashier looked from one woman to the other. Maya lowered her voice. "What are you doing?" "Tracking what everybody uses. Until things stabilize." For 5 months, Maya had placed the household groceries on her card. Jason and Kendra contributed a fixed amount that covered less than half of what they consumed. Maya had never mentioned the difference. Now Kendra pushed a package of chicken toward Maya's side. "You and Daniel eat more of this than we do." Maya looked at the full cart, then at the small collection Kendra had assigned to her. "All right." She paid for her coffee, yogurt, sparkling water, and the package of chicken. Then she collected her bags and stepped aside. Kendra stared at the groceries remaining on the belt. "Aren't you paying for the household items? You wanted us to track what everybody uses." "I meant the extras." "So did I." The cashier pressed her lips together, but her shoulders moved. Kendra pulled out her debit card. It declined. She tried again. Declined. Maya could have ended the humiliation. She could have put everything on her own card and preserved the peace. She had done that before in smaller ways. Covered a bill, ignored a comment, pretended not to notice when Kendra replaced something expensive and called it shared. Instead, Maya removed the items she and Daniel regularly used and paid for those. Kendra had to call Jason and ask him to transfer money for the rest. On the drive home, Kendra sat stiffly in the passenger seat. "You enjoyed that." "No. You could have helped." "I did. For 5 months." "You're keeping score now?" "You brought the scoreboard to the grocery store." Kendra turned toward the window. At home, Daniel was repairing a loose cabinet hinge. He looked up as they entered separately. "What happened?" "Nothing," Kendra said. Maya set the groceries on the counter. Kendra wanted everyone to pay according to what they consume. Daniel examined the number of bags. "How educational." Kendra went to the guest room and shut the door. Daniel waited until she was gone. "You all right?" Maya nodded, but the incident had unsettled her more than she wanted to admit. Being unable to enter an office on Monday morning had been painful. Watching a guest divide groceries as if Maya had become an unwanted expense had made the job loss feel like a stain spreading into every room. "I don't understand," Maya said. "I would never treat her this way." "I know. I was the one who—" Daniel stopped her with a glance toward the hallway. Maya had promised herself they would not hold their original generosity over Jason and Kendra. Help given as a weapon was not help. Daniel lowered his voice. "Grace does not require amnesia." The next week, Aunt Gloria called. She did not begin with hello. "Did you steal office furniture?" Maya sat up at the dining table. "What?" "I'm asking because Kendra has half the family praying over a crime that apparently occurred in broad daylight." Maya closed her laptop. "What exactly did she say?" "That your company dismissed you after concerns about your judgment. Then she said you brought home a box of property that did not belong to you. My mug and desk plant. I assumed the pot hose was key evidence." Despite herself, Maya laughed. Then Aunt Gloria's voice softened. "Baby, what happened?" Maya told her about the merger. 12 positions. Severance. No allegation, no misconduct, no dramatic scene. "I knew that girl was decorating a lie," Gloria said. "She uses too many throw pillows." "Where did she say this?" "In the family group chat." Maya was not in Daniel's extended family chat. She had been added once, changed phones, and never rejoined. Daniel rarely checked it. "Send me screenshots." The first message looked sympathetic. "Please keep Daniel in prayer. He is carrying a lot since Maya suddenly lost her position." Someone asked what suddenly meant. Kendra replied, "I don't want to expose private business, but companies don't remove good people for no reason." Later she wrote, "We are staying close to make sure he has support." Maya read the sentence 3 times. "We are staying close." Kendra had transformed free housing into a rescue mission. Daniel came home to find Maya standing outside the guest room door with her phone in her hand. He read the screenshots once. Then he opened the door. Jason was tying his shoes. Kendra sat against the headboard watching television. "You have until Sunday," Daniel said. Jason froze. "For what?" "To leave." Kendra looked at Maya. "You ran to him over a group chat?" "No," Daniel said. "My aunt sent proof that you lied about my wife. I said she lost her job. You implied she was fired for misconduct. I never used that word. You said companies don't remove good people. That is my opinion. Then your opinion can have a new address." Jason stood. "Daniel, wait. I didn't know she wrote that." "You read the chat." "I didn't answer." Silence is an answer when somebody lies in front of you. Maya could see panic moving through Jason's face. His extra shifts had only recently begun. A new apartment would require a deposit, application fees, and proof of consistent income. Kendra's mouth had created a consequence Jason could not afford. Maya touched Daniel's arm. "Can we talk privately?" In their bedroom, Daniel shut the door. "No," he said immediately. "You don't know what I'm going to say. You're going to ask me not to throw them out. I'm asking us to honor the original date. She publicly lied about you, and I'm going to make her correct it. She tried to make my family see you as dead weight." "I know. Then why are you protecting her?" "I'm not protecting her." Maya struggled to explain what she barely understood herself. "I'm protecting the kind of person I want to remain. We gave them 6 months. I don't want my job loss to become the event that makes them homeless." Daniel stared at her. There is a line between compassion and volunteering to be mistreated. "I am finding it. Find it faster." Maya almost smiled. 30 days. No extension. And if she lies again, I won't stop you. Daniel walked to the window and back. Finally, he nodded. 30 days because you asked. Not because they deserve it. Maya returned to the guest room. "You will correct the message," she told Kendra. "You will say I was laid off during a merger and that you had no information suggesting misconduct." Kendra's face hardened. "You want me to humiliate myself? I want you to remove the humiliation you created for me." Jason looked at his wife. "Just do it." Kendra picked up her phone. Her correction appeared 10 minutes later. "Apparently, there has been a misunderstanding. Maya says her department was restructured. We wish her well in whatever comes next." Maya read it aloud. "Maya says," Daniel repeated, as if the truth is a rumor. "It's enough," Maya said. But it was not enough, and every person in the room knew it. 2 days later, Maya had her first interview. The role sounded promising until the hiring manager explained that the salary was nearly 40% below Maya's previous income, and the position required being available most weekends. "We believe in people proving themselves," the manager said through the laptop. Maya heard Kendra moving dishes in the kitchen. She imagined ending the interview with an offer, walking out of the office and announcing that she was employed again. She imagined the refrigerator free of budgets, the grocery store forgotten, the family chat corrected by evidence no one could question. "I'm flexible," Maya said. The words left her mouth before she decided they were true. The manager smiled. "That is exactly what we need." After the call, Maya sat in the quiet office staring at the black screen. Daniel had come home early to take her to lunch. He stood in the doorway. "How did it go?" "They want a second interview." "That's good. I think I could get it." "Do you want it?" "It's a job." "That is not what I asked." Maya began straightening papers that were already straight. "The salary is lower." "How much lower?" She told him. Daniel leaned against the doorframe. "And the schedule?" "Most weekends. You hated missing Saturdays when you were making more." "We can't pretend income does not matter." "We're not pretending. We have savings. Your severance covers your salary for another 2 months. We reduced expenses. We are okay. For now. For now is enough time to make a decision that isn't based on Kendra's mouth." Maya looked up. Daniel entered the room and sat across from her. "Do you want that job?" he asked. "Or do you want to stop feeling unemployed inside your own house?" The question exposed something she had not wanted to see. "I want her to stop looking at me like I failed. Kendra was comfortable accepting your help when you were earning. Now she is scared the arrangement might end, so she needs your loss to be bigger than hers." Maya glanced toward the hallway. She lost an apartment. And now she's trying to make you lose your standing. Maya withdrew from the second interview that afternoon. It frightened her, but the fear felt clean. It belonged to her rather than to Kendra. That evening, Jason arrived with a television large enough to block the front doorway. Daniel looked from the box to his brother. "What is that?" "Open box deal," Jason said. "Half price." "With what money?" Jason's smile faded. "My overtime." "The overtime you're saving for an apartment?" "I got more shifts next month." Kendra hurried from the guest room. "We needed something for our place." "You don't have a place," Daniel said. "That's why it was on sale." Maya touched her forehead. Daniel pointed toward the garage. "Take it back." Jason's expression tightened. "You're not my father." "No. I'm the man whose guest room you are using while you spend your deposit on a 75-inch television. It's my money." "It is. And the deadline is still the deadline." Kendra folded her arms. "This is because Maya complained. Maya had said nothing. Daniel looked at his brother. Do you see what she does? Every consequence becomes Maya's fault. Jason looked away. They returned the television the following morning. Aunt Gloria stopped by that afternoon with lemon cake and absolutely no intention of staying out of the situation. She placed the cake on the counter and glanced toward the guest room. How are the missionaries? Maya laughed. Please behave. I always behave. People simply dislike the behavior I choose. Gloria cut 2 slices and listened as Maya described the past 2 weeks. You keep trying to prove you are kind, Gloria said. I'm not trying to prove anything. You made Daniel keep them after they lied. I kept our agreement. You can be right and still be hiding. Hiding from what? From being called mean. Maya looked down at her cake. Gloria tapped the fork against the plate. Some women will let people eat at their table, insult the food and take the tablecloth because they are terrified somebody might call them difficult. I am setting a deadline. Good. Now stop whispering it. The family cookout was scheduled for the following Saturday. Daniel offered to cancel it. The gathering rotated among several relatives, but their backyard had the most space, and his father had already ordered enough ribs for 20 people. If we cancel, Maya said, Kendra will tell everyone I am too ashamed to be seen. Who cares what she tells them? I do. That's part of my problem. Daniel waited. Maya looked through the glass doors into the yard. Kendra had already arranged chairs around the patio and posted in the family chat that she would handle decorations so Maya could rest. I'm not leaving my own story for her to narrate, Maya said. The cookout stays. Saturday arrived bright and hot. By noon, Kendra had tied gold balloons to the fence, placed a playlist on the outdoor speakers, and rearranged Maya's serving dishes without asking. She wore a matching linen set and greeted relatives at the gate. Maya came downstairs in a yellow sundress. Kendra glanced at her. Oh, you're joining us. Maya adjusted one earring. I live here. I thought you might want quiet. I've had enough quiet. Daniel appeared behind Maya carrying a tray of ice. He looked at his wife and smiled. You look beautiful. Kendra turned away. The first hour passed without open conflict. Maya helped Daniel's father with the grill, spoke to cousins and accepted several careful expressions of sympathy. Some relatives seemed relieved to learn that the layoff had been part of a merger. Others watched Kendra as if comparing 2 versions of the same story. Aunt Gloria arrived wearing a wide hat and carrying baked beans. Kendra rushed toward her. Auntie, let me take that. Maya shouldn't be lifting too much today. Gloria held on to the dish. Why? Did unemployment weaken her wrists? Several people laughed. Kendra's smile tightened. I'm trying to support her. You have become very supportive since moving into her guest room. Kendra and Jason are helping us through a transition, Maya said, giving Gloria a warning look. Gloria handed Maya the beans. Of course. I can see the sacrifice in their faces. Jason choked on his drink. For a while, the humor kept the tension from hardening. Then Kendra began placing small comments into conversations like pins. When Maya mentioned an interview scheduled for Monday, Kendra told a cousin, We're encouraging her not to be too selective. When Daniel complimented the potato salad, Kendra said, I made it. Maya has had a lot on her mind. When Maya carried empty plates inside, she heard Kendra telling Daniel's mother, He is exhausted. He won't admit it because he's loyal. Maya returned to the patio. What won't Daniel admit? Kendra turned. We were discussing how hard he's been working. He has always worked hard. Especially now. Daniel's mother looked uncomfortable. Kendra was only saying everyone may need to make difficult choices. What choices? Maya asked. Kendra lowered her voice theatrically. This isn't the time. You brought it up at my cookout. It appears to be exactly the time. Conversations around them began to quiet. Jason stepped closer. Kendra, leave it. No, Kendra said. Everybody keeps acting like I'm cruel because I'm willing to say what no one else will. Aunt Gloria removed her sunglasses. Kendra faced Daniel. You cannot keep carrying 4 adults on one income. Jason and I are about to get stable. We're helping with the house. Maybe Maya could stay with her sister for a little while, just until she gets herself together. The yard became completely silent. Maya felt the words physically, as if Kendra had reached across the patio and pushed her. Daniel set down the serving spoon in his hand. Jason whispered, What are you doing? Kendra continued before anyone could stop her. It doesn't have to mean the marriage is over. But Daniel needs people around him who are contributing. Maya can focus on finding whatever job she can get without all this pressure. Maya looked at the woman who had slept beneath her roof for 5 months. A woman whose groceries Maya had paid for, whose late fees she had quietly covered once, whose embarrassment she had protected even from relatives now watching them. Her first instinct was still to explain softly. Then she remembered Gloria's words. "Stop whispering it. I was not fired for misconduct," Maya said. "My company merged 2 departments and eliminated 12 positions." Kendra shrugged. "Whatever they called it, you are not bringing anything into this house." Daniel's mother gasped. Aunt Gloria muttered, "There it is." Daniel stepped beside Maya, but he did not move in front of her. "Kendra," he said, "who told you that you and Jason were moving into this house?" She blinked. "You both did." "Who asked first?" "What does that matter?" "Answer him," Jason said quietly. Kendra looked between the brothers. "Jason called you." "He did," Daniel said. "And I told him no." Jason's face fell. Daniel took out his phone. "The night Jason called, I told Maya I would help you with a deposit somewhere else. I said living together would damage the family." Kendra gave a brittle laugh. "But you changed your mind." Maya changed it. He opened an old message and read aloud. "I know you said no, but they are family. Give them 6 months. They can use the guest room, save what they would have paid in rent, and leave with enough to start again. I'll cover the moving truck." No one spoke. Daniel opened another message. "This one is from me. I think we'll regret it." A few people lowered their heads to hide smiles. "And this is Maya's answer. Then if it goes badly, you can remind me once." "Only once." Aunt Gloria raised one finger. "This is the once." Even Maya laughed, but tears pressed behind her eyes. Daniel lowered the phone. "Maya belongs in this house when she is earning, when she is struggling, and when she is starting over. She is my wife. This is her home. You are here because she asked me to make room for you." Kendra's face had lost its color. "I didn't know." "That is the problem," Maya said. "You never asked. You saw one difficult moment and decided it moved me beneath you. I was thinking about the household. You were thinking about protecting your place by taking mine." Jason stepped toward Maya. "I'm sorry." Kendra rounded on him. "Don't. No, I should have stopped this. You did nothing wrong. I let you lie in the group chat. I moved into her office. I sat there while you told people we were helping them." Kendra looked around the yard and realized she had lost the audience she had expected to control. "So what now?" she demanded. "You put us on the street because I told the truth about money?" Daniel turned to Maya. It was a small movement, but everyone noticed it. "What boundary do you want?" he asked. A month earlier, Maya would have asked Daniel to decide. She would have softened the consequence until it became another inconvenience she absorbed herself. Now she faced Jason and Kendra. "Your 6-month agreement ends in 30 days. It will not be extended." Kendra stared at her. "This is revenge." "No. Revenge would be removing you tonight. 30 days is the promise I already made. We cannot find an apartment in 30 days. You have had 5 months. Our savings are not enough. Then the television should have stayed at the store." Jason shut his eyes. Maya continued. "I was prepared to discuss extending your time if you were genuinely trying. Then you decided my temporary hardship made me removable from my own family. I will not finance your next move, and I will not surrender another room, another grocery bill, or another piece of my dignity to make this arrangement easier." Kendra looked toward Daniel as if expecting him to override Maya. He did not. "My wife answered you," he said. Kendra walked into the house and slammed the door. The cookout did not immediately recover. People busied themselves with plates and drinks, speaking too loudly about the weather. Daniel's father returned to the grill. Someone changed the music. Then Aunt Gloria picked up a rib. "Well," she said, "the potato salad still needs salt." Laughter moved cautiously through the yard, then grew. Maya sat on the back steps. Her hands were shaking. Daniel lowered himself beside her. "You okay?" "I think so. You were magnificent. I gave homeless relatives a deadline during a cookout. You gave housed relatives the deadline they already had." She looked toward the kitchen window, where Kendra's shape moved behind the curtain. "I hate that it came to this." "So do I. Do you regret letting them stay?" Daniel considered the question. "No. Now I know what you look like when you stop confusing peace with silence." Maya rested her head against his shoulder. The guests began leaving before sunset. Several hugged Maya longer than usual. Daniel's mother apologized for accepting Kendra's version without calling. Maya thanked her, but she did not rush to make the apology easier. Aunt Gloria was last. At the gate, she squeezed Maya's hand. You found the line. I think I stepped over it in heels. Good. Flats are for forgiving too quickly. After everyone left, Jason found Maya washing serving bowls. You don't have to do those, he said. They're my dishes. He stood beside the sink, uncertain. I really am sorry. Maya turned off the water. Which part? The question surprised him. The office. The group chat. Today. Why did you let it happen? Jason leaned against the counter. When you came home with that box, Kendra panicked. She said Daniel would choose you and make us leave. He should choose me. I'm his wife. I know. But she kept saying if everybody saw you as the reason money was tight, they would pressure Daniel to keep us here. Maya stared at him. So this was a plan. Not at first. At first she was scared. Then every time she said something and nobody stopped her, she got bolder. And you? I was getting what I needed. It was the first completely honest thing Jason had said. Maya nodded slowly. Thank you for admitting that. Can we fix this? You can correct the lie with everyone who heard it. You can save your money. You can move by the deadline. I mean us. I don't know. Jason accepted the answer. He and Kendra barely spoke to Maya during the following week. They purchased their own groceries and kept everything in a plastic bin on one refrigerator shelf. The arrangement was petty but peaceful. Maya continued interviewing. She declined the low-paying position and made it to the final round for another role. She did not get it. The rejection hurt, but it did not send her rushing toward the first available job. She allowed herself one bad evening, ordered takeout with Daniel, and applied again the next morning. Kendra's behavior shifted between resentment and forced politeness. Once, Maya heard her crying behind the guest room door. Compassion rose automatically, followed by the urge to offer another month. Maya let the feeling pass without turning it into a promise. Jason sold several belongings, accepted every available shift, and found a modest apartment 20 minutes away. The rent was higher than he wanted, but it was within reach if he and Kendra stopped spending as if someone else would always catch them. On their final morning, Jason carried boxes to a borrowed pickup truck. Kendra placed the house key on the kitchen counter. You got what you wanted, she said. Maya looked at the key. No. I wanted my kindness to mean something to you. Kendra's expression flickered. It did. Not enough to stop you from using my worst week to elevate yourself. You embarrassed me in front of the family. You tried to remove me from my home in front of the family. Kendra picked up her purse. Maybe one day you'll understand what fear makes people do. Maya opened the front door. I understand fear. I no longer accept it as permission. Kendra walked out. Jason hugged Daniel beside the truck. Then he approached Maya. I corrected the messages, he said. I saw. I told them you were the reason we had somewhere to stay. You should have told yourself sooner. He nodded. Maya did not hug him, but she wished him well. When the truck disappeared around the corner, Daniel stood in the suddenly quiet hallway. What do you want to do with the guest room? Maya looked inside. Pale rectangles marked the walls where Jason and Kendra's pictures had hung. Dust outlined the furniture they had removed. Nothing today. Daniel smiled. That sounds familiar. For the first time since the layoff, Maya spent an entire afternoon without applying for work. She repotted the pothose plant from her cardboard box and placed it in the sunlight. She read on the couch. She called her mother without calculating how the expense might look on somebody's spreadsheet. 3 weeks later, Maya accepted an operations position with a company that had impressed her during the interview by asking what she had learned from managing change. The salary was slightly higher than her previous one. The work was not magical, and the company did not promise to become a family. Maya considered that a benefit. On the morning she started, Daniel found her standing in the kitchen with the ceramic mug from her old office. Make it make sense. He poured coffee into it. Nervous? Yes. Good nervous or bad nervous? Mine. Daniel handed her the mug. At the door, Maya glanced toward the guest room. It was still mostly empty. She had decided it would become a flexible room. Sometimes for visitors, sometimes for quiet, never again for an arrangement without a written ending. Daniel followed her gaze. You know, he said, I was right about one thing. She narrowed her eyes. Choose carefully. I said we would regret letting them move in. Maya considered it. No, you said you would remind me once. I used my once at the cookout. Then I guess you're finished. He laughed and kissed her goodbye. Maya stepped outside into the morning carrying no cardboard box, No need to prove that she belonged and no confusion about the difference between generosity and surrender. Losing her job had changed the amount of money entering the house. It had revealed much more about the people inside it. And by the time Maya returned to work, she had already recovered the one position no employer, relative, or frightened guest had ever possessed the authority to take from her: her place in her own life. People who benefit from your generosity may call you a burden the moment your usefulness is interrupted. But that does not make their judgment true. Have you ever helped someone who later treated you like the problem when your circumstances changed? Tell us in the comments what happened, or what boundary you wish you had set. And if stories about loyalty, dignity, and the moments that reveal people's true character speak to you, subscribe to her drama tales. There are more stories waiting for you.